Now, an Emeritus Newsbrief, I'm Lynn Houston. The FBI says it has arrested 4 conservative activists and charged them with trying to electronically bug the offices of Louisiana Senator Mary Landrieu. The ringleader is reportedly this man, 25-year-old James O'Keefe, who you may remember as being involved in a videotape report that allegedly had shown the group Acorn involved in fraudulent housing activities. O'Keefe was arrested with 3 others, 24-year-old Joseph Basil, 24-year-old Stan Dye, and 24-year-old Robert Flanagan, the son of acting U.S. Attorney Bill Flanagan in Shreveport, Louisiana. All 4 were charged with entering federal property under false pretenses for the purpose of committing a felony. Specifically, the men are accused of entering Senator Landrieu's office in New Orleans, claiming they were telephone repairmen, but instead they were planting an electronic monitoring device. They were reportedly caught in the act by U.S. Marshals on Monday. The Congressional Budget Office out with a dour projection of the deficit that the costs of 2 wars and a recession could triple spending on the national debt interest to reach 3.2% of gross domestic product by the year 2020. That's more than double the current 1.4%. More on the Emeritus News National World page. President Obama proposing a 3-year spending freeze on non-national security programs, not counting Medicare and other medical programs, such as care for military personnel and veterans. First Lady Michelle Obama telling a wives' club at Bolling Air Force Base that her husband plans to increase funding for military families by $8.8 billion, including more for mental health, education, and relocation assistance. More on that story on the Emeritus News Healthcare page. Senate Democrats working on an $80 billion jobs bill that's expected to include more extended unemployment benefits. 39% of all unemployment benefits being paid are now to those who have been out of work 6 months or more. That story on the Emeritus News Employment page. Teen pregnancy up for the first time in 10 years. The Guttmacher Institute reporting that after 10 years of declines, teen pregnancy is up among whites and minorities. The group claims this coincides with the increase of abstention teachings in the classrooms, but other groups cite the increases in poverty, since 2/3 of all pregnant teens come from poor families. More on that story on the Emeritus News Education page. The U.S. Department of Transportation announcing effective immediately new federal rules that ban truck drivers from texting while driving. Those caught texting while driving could face civil and criminal penalties up to $2,750. More on the Emeritus News Business page. And a major announcement from Toyota. The company has been trying to deal with complaints and recalls involving sticking accelerator pedals, which cause sudden acceleration on some models. Toyota has now announced it will stop production the week of February 1st to correct that problem on the assembly lines. And Toyota dealers are to stop selling the models affected by the problem so they can be corrected. The models affected include the RAV4, Corolla, the Matrix, Avalon, Camry, Highlander, Tundra, and Sequoia. More on the Emeritus News Consumer page. Also on the Emeritus News homepage, the number of home-based jobs is up, and so is the average pay of those working at home. New rankings for the top 100 best employers in the country and which ones have job openings. And television writers in Los Angeles win the largest settlement ever, $70 million in an age discrimination lawsuit against Hollywood producers and TV broadcast companies. The latest on the biggest issues and public policy at emeritusnews.com. And live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the Emeritus News channel at livestream.com. That's an Emeritus News Brief. I'm Lynn Houston.